Oh, yes. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is it. Let's go. Let's go. Now, this, look, this is why the trade happened. This guy, Karl-Anthony Towns, went down in Miami, an arena he loves to play in, and just owned Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo. That's right. An all-defensive player. He just cooked him. He made him look insignificant. He made him look irrelevant. He was the star tonight, and we needed it because Jalen Brunson didn't have it. He looked lost for 2.5 quarters. But there was a moment in the game when, what's his name, Nikola Jovic hit a 3-point shot to give the Miami Heat a 13-point lead midway through the third quarter, where the Knicks were just underwater the whole time. They couldn't quite, they kind of kept chipping away at the lead, and they would drift back, and now suddenly they're staring at a 13-point lead down in Miami, the place that they are cursed enemies in the Eastern Conference. And what happens when they come out of there? Boom. There's a play on the right side. I forgot who got JB the ball, but Brunson decided to start driving, and he realized that was a mistake. He's backpedaled, stepped back behind the arc, let the three fly, right through the net. Boom. Now it's 10-point lead. Then, nice defensive stop on the other end. Mikal Bridges comes up, drains a three-pointer from the left side. I think it was from the left side. Boom. Immediately, that 13-point lead gets truncated down, and there was another 2-point shot, so they went on a nice little mini 8-0 run. The Miami Heat called a timeout, but let me tell you, the game was firmly in the Knicks' hands from that point on. Even though the Heat were able to, whittle that lead down to like 4 at one point, the deficit, should I say, from their point of view, down to 4, didn't matter because we had Karl-Anthony Towns, the best shooting big man in the history of the NBA, according to him. Because I do think Dirk probably is the best. Over 7 feet tall. That guy. KP, Kristaps is special as well, but not like this. This is different because the way this guy, I honestly, I had watched Cat play a lot, but I did not realize that he had such a great touch around the rim. So he makes it really incredibly difficult for defenses to play against him. Beautiful. He has like a really soft touch for a 7-foot guy. I do actually remember that when he was at Kentucky. But, I mean, I don't watch him every night like I watch the Knicks and stuff. So now I'm thoroughly impressed. Knicks fans, you guys should be feeling very good about that trade right now. We have ourselves a very special player, an all-NBA player. And this guy at 7 feet tall helps spread the court. You heard Breen talk tonight if you're watching the MSG broadcast. The way that they can spread that court and create space, Brunson has yet to fully capitalize on that space yet. He's forcing it at times. Also, there were just moments where he got in, he did his regular, shake and bake, just wasn't able to finish, and I could see him getting repeatedly more and more frustrated. He was, I think, 1 of 8 at one point, I think 2 of 9 maybe at one point, but then things turned, and the Knicks were able to pull off a beautiful win down in Miami. They basically returned to 500 or 2-2. It's only 4 games in. Look, this is why I wasn't that concerned about what was happening. Look, players are what they are. Coaches are what they are, but they can evolve from where they are. And I foresaw that Thibs, being on board with this trade for Cat, he was going to figure out a way to make it work. And tonight was an example of how this team can cook. But it wasn't just him. Mikal Bridges was fantastic. OG Anunoby, Thibs himself, even in the postgame, said you won't see it in the stat line, but he was outstanding tonight, and he was. Jalen Brunson was actually the weak spot in the starting unit. Josh Hart was fantastic tonight. He had a double-double and also had 6 assists himself. And Mikal Bridges had 6 assists, and Jalen Brunson had 9 assists. So the wings, accounted for 12 assists. The point guard, 9 assists. And this was the kind of game. And look, Miami Heat. You think the Heat are just going to sit there and roll over for us down in Miami? No. At one point, they did look kind of whacked. I don't know. They were like throwing the ball around here and there. But that was more like in the fourth quarter. But you know that they wanted this game. You know Jimmy Butler going up against his former coach, his former teammate, Karl-Anthony Towns. He was going to try to do everything he could to win. Didn't work tonight. Did not work tonight. What happened was the New York Knicks won 116-107 down in Miami. Beautiful. All right, my name is George. If this is your first time here, please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button for me. And if you have been here before and you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time, because this season is just getting going. We have barely scratched the surface of how incredible this team can be. We've seen glimpses. That annihilation of the Pacers, gorgeous. They were up 13 against the Cavs and then fell asleep. This team could be 3-1 right now. But they go down to Miami to start off a 4-game road trip and secure that key pivotal win on a night when their All-NBA, their MVP, potential MVP of the NBA, struggled. But that's the beauty of having a Karl-Anthony Towns. His efficiency is just something we haven't had in a big man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the game was so different back when Patrick Ewing was playing. Patrick Ewing was amazing, incredibly efficient as well. But this is just a whole different scenario right now. We are lucky to be in the situation that we're in right now, because these guys are just getting to know each other, and yet they are taking care of business. All right, I got highlights for you guys. I got stats. I got let's keep going. Okay, well, basically I just said all this. Towns in beast mode tonight. He loves that Miami arena, he said. He's made Bam, the self-professed defensive player of the year, look tiny, and he did. He made him look, like I said before, irrelevant. Karl-Anthony Towns tonight, 44 points, 12 rebounds. He shot 70%. What was that? 70. Wait, what? 70% field goal shooting. 4 of 5 from the three-point line. And there was a three-point shot late in the fourth quarter when, the game, the Heat were trying to make a run. And I think they had cut the lead to 4, maybe even, I don't know. They made it a little bit uncomfortable. Brunson takes the ball. I think it was Brunson who fed him on the right side. He had 2 players near him. Zero hesitation. Let it fly. Swished it. And that was it. And let me say, that was basically the attitude of all the players tonight, mostly. Except for Brunson when he finally did that pedal back, shoot the 3, his first 3. All the other players, OG was letting it fly, McCall was letting it fly, Towns was letting it fly, even though he only had like 2 3-point attempts for 3 quarters, pretty much. They were letting, and Deuce was letting it fly. That's how they got to do it. So no hesitation. You guys are fantastic 3-point shooters. Hey, if it doesn't go in, doesn't go in. But if you pass up, and also Josh Hart as well, take those 3 points. If you pass up on an open 3, you destroy your offense. Because the entire plan of that 24-second play that you're running is to get a good look, a good open look. And if you pass up on it, now the shot clock is what? At 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds. Now you got to try and create another shot. Do what you just took 17 seconds to do. Got to recreate it in 7 seconds. Makes no sense. They knew it. They took care of business. People were talking about, it's not that easy to generate threes. Really? It's not that hard to generate threes. Okay? Not on this team. Not when you got guys like Towns who can take anybody off the dribble down to the hoop. Mikal Bridges is doing the same thing. Josh Hart can do the same thing. And we all know Jalen Brunson is one of the greatest drivers and finishers I've ever seen in the history of the NBA. How can you not have open threes? It's impossible. It's an impossibility. They just have to now. They're learning to understand what spots, the guys who are open out on the wings, where to move, where to find that open space that they're comfortable shooting from so that the guy with the ball can find them. And then they're making that extra pass 1, 2, 3, 4 extra passes. This tonight was an incredible example of how phenomenal this team can be, especially on the offensive end and defensively. Look, they held the Heat to 107. It could have been even. Honestly, I think the Heat got gifted a few buckets. To be honest with you, this could have easily have been a 101. This could have been a 130 to 101 game if Brunson had played the way we need him, the way he normally plays, and. The refs didn't kind of help out the Heat a bit here and there. This could have been a very different game, but still a +9 victory. Fabulous. I'll take it. Put it in the books. The New York Knicks are now 2-2. Awesome. Let's get the highlights. No, I want to show you something first. All right. This was before tonight's game. Another reason why I wasn't that worried. Before tonight's game, the top teams, offensive leaders in the NBA, the Celtics are number 1, who we lost to, and then Cavs, number 3, who we lost to. Those are our 2 losses. The 2 of the top 3 offenses in the NBA. Now, Brooklyn Nets are in there too, which is kind of comical. But that just shows the caliber of teams that we played against. Field goal percentage, though. Look at that. The Cavs, number 1. This is before tonight's games. 52.8%. Actually, the Cavs one I think is included in here. The Knicks stats hadn't been rolled in yet. But the Knicks were number 2 in field goal percentage. That's just overall field goal percentage. And from three-point shooting, the Knicks were shooting a healthy 37.8%. So this is and look at defensive leaders. Miami Heat, number 3. In stingiest defense. But look at OKC, number 1, 95.3. That is outstanding. Look at Golden State, 102. But Miami Heat, Miami Heat and the Cleveland Cavaliers are number 4. So we were playing tremendous teams early in the schedule, teams that have cohesion, teams that have basically run it back. We have 40% of our starting lineup is new. It was going to take time, guys. It was going to take time, and tonight is a reward for patience and aggression. The Knicks looked aggressive, and especially Karl-Anthony Towns. All right, let's get to the highlights. Here we go. Let's see if my the team stats have updated here on NBA.com, because I definitely want to. Yes, they have. Okay. So the Knicks are still number 2 in the NBA in field goal shooting, behind Cleveland Cavaliers. And they are number 4 in three-point shooting. Number 4 in the entire NBA. Okay? So the offense is not going to be a concern. It's going to be defense. But when you have guys like Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, and OG Anunoby on the court, you're going to be disruptive. You're going to create turnovers. You're going to create easier buckets on the other end. And the Knicks did a very good job on the offensive glass once again. But they need to really keep working on that as well, because right now they're 26th in the NBA in offensive rebounding. So that is definitely something that they're going to have to work on. But again, it's not like the Knicks are missing that many shots. So it's not like there are that many offensive rebounds to get, because they're just hitting. They're hitting. I told you, they're in the top 2 and top 4 in field goal shooting in the entire NBA. All right, here we go. Jaime Jaquez, once again, was always a pest. So right here, the Heat built a nice little lead in the beginning. Here comes Jaquez up the court. Sims got some backup center time. No Ariel Hukporti. So Thibs doing an incredible job at keeping us guessing. Look at that. Look at those active hands by Josh Hart. Love it. Let's see. Josh Hart, how many steals did he end up with? Because the New York Knicks ended up with 8 steals for the game. And Josh Hart picked up, just one of them. I guess that was the one. But Bridges had 2. Anunoby had 2. Deuce McBride had 2 steals. And Campaign had 1. Nice. I love that. And more importantly, as you can see down there, the Knicks only committed 9 turnovers in this game. So they were very, very protective of the ball. And Tyler Hero was a beast. I mean, he scored 34 points tonight, 8 of 13 from the three-point line. He was shooting from like 28 footers. It was painful for a while. I thought, oh no, this is just not going to look good. This is that little run. But here, OB, look at this. No hesitation. Drains the three. And that's what kept us around. The three-point shooting in the third quarter for the Knicks was truly special. It was outstanding in the third quarter. The Knicks shot 61.5% in the third quarter from the three-point line. They hit 8 of 13. And the Heat only hit 3 of 10, and that's when the game turned. Like I said, they were once down 3. They had a 20-point turn, down 13. They had a 20-point turnaround. And right here, we're watching it in progress right here. Now we're down 10. McCall just steps right into it. Nice little pull up 3. And, nice little sidestep 3 here. See, this is what our wings are doing. This is the promise. Beautiful. But there, we allow that. That's some poor defense there. Brunson should not have given up the baseline. We have to change that mentality. In the past, it used to be just give up the baseline, but big men are not sitting down under the basket anymore. So this is where the Knicks. Oh, I think, yeah. All right. So I didn't see when we were down 13. But now it's just a 3-point game. Karl lets it fly. Beautiful. I think that was only his third attempt at the time. He definitely needs to be more aggressive in shooting threes. He needs to just make a mental note that each quarter he's got to attempt at least 2 3-point shots. That's just how it has to be from that point on. Oh, I think that was Brunson who hit that 3. Nice. So now we're closing out the third quarter. There, beautiful. Just step right into it. McCall. Oh, my God. Remember when we were all concerned in preseason about his shot? I wonder what that was about. Nice little turnaround for Josh Hart. Josh Hart, a tremendous game for him. Brunson was the leading scorer in that third quarter, 10 points for him. Mikal Bridges had 8. The Knicks shot 57.1% overall in that third quarter. Picked up 11 rebounds. They just started owning the glass. They look at those active hands. Now that was an overreaction. You didn't need to do a flyby, and Thibs on that timeout gave him an earful about it. Another misguided attempt. I will say, I'll talk a little bit about Deuce. Even though Deuce offensively, he had a decent game. 10 points for him, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. But I feel like in that first half, definitely first half, definitely Deuce was getting cooked by Hero. He was getting owned by who else was that? Jovic, Terry, Scary Terry. He was also. There was a play in the right corner where Deuce just was hanging around the paint for no reason. Meanwhile his guy's in the corner and he gets stuck behind another player. Ball goes to Dunk. It was Duncan Robinson, open 3 from the corner. Those kind of mental mistakes cannot happen. Cannot happen. Deuce, you're out there to give us that tremendous defense that we've seen you play. You have definitely been struggling a bit on the defensive end this season. You've had some bright moments, but you've had some dark moments as well. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this hustle. Look at that hustle right there. Karl-Anthony Towns, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Oh. Here we go. It was Mikal Bridges who fed him. That's the one I was talking about. Now, beautiful. 111, 199. Minute 44 left. That was a nice 12-3 run. Last 4 minutes. Beautiful. I am so happy with this game. Oh, it's another attempt. But look at Karl-Anthony Towns. Look at that. Offensive rebound. Goes back up. Pure strength. He got the foul, and he hit the and one. Oh, again, another one. Lets it fly. Boo-hoo-chee. I feel like that. Oh, we went back. I feel like that repeated. Yeah, that was repeating. All right, let's get back to this. I've been rattling off stats, but I'll show them to you here. All 5 starters in double figures. 2 Knicks with double figures in with double-digit rebounds. 13 rebounds for Karl-Anthony Towns. 14 for Josh Hart. Karl-Anthony Towns' stat line is just obscene. 44 points on 25 field goal attempts. 13 rebounds, 4 or 5 from the three-point line. Crazy. And even picked up a couple of assists. Mikal Bridges, 6 assists for him. 4 of 11 from the three-point line. 17 points. And I loved his aggression. Look at it. He put up 11 three-point attempts. He finally realized, you know what? I'm now the Dante on this team. I have to just jack up threes, but quality threes. They can't be shit threes. They have to be quality threes. And then once you get in a nice groove, you can kind of stretch the limits of what a quality three is, and which he did. You can see a couple of those that he sunk were fantastic. Brunson, 3 of 7 from the three-point line. He finished with 22 points on 18 field goal attempts, which is much prettier than when this started out. This was only 2 of 9 at one point. Josh Hart only took 7 shots, 10 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists for him. Excellent game from Mr. Josh Hart. And OG Anunoby, look, the stat line doesn't look sexy at all. The box score won't tell it, but he made a tremendous impact on this game. So all 5 starters got a tremendous impact on this game, and that's why the New York Knicks won. Because right now our bench is very thin. Only Deuce and Cameron Payne played, decent. Well, I guess Sims played 9 minutes. 3 rebounds. He gave some quality. Sims gave us some quality minutes, but just I wish he would have more of an impact on the game when he's out on the court. Deuce, in his 25 minutes, gave us 10 points, 2 of 5 from the three-point line, 3 of 8 overall. Like I said, he picked up 2 dimes, 3 rebounds. This, the thing of beauty. Look at the plus minus. You can see everybody was plus except for Deuce and Sims. Interesting. But Karl-Anthony Towns was a plus 15, and that for sure reveals the impact he had on this game. But look at the other forwards. Plus 11 for Anunoby and a plus 10 for Mikal Bridges. So those 3 right there are why the New York... Well, also don't forget Josh Hart, a plus 9 himself. Just 1 point shy of a double-digit plus minus. Excellent balance. The Heat, all 5 of their starters were in double figures, but in the lower end, Bam, 11 points for him, only 3 rebounds for Bam Adebayo. Whoa, only 3. That's crazy. That's nuts. Tyler Hero, as I called out before, he was outstanding, 34 points, 7 assists. That's pretty lethal. All right, let's get to the team stats here. As you can see, the Knicks shot 48.8% for this game. So they are shooting 50% overall for the season, which is second best in the NBA. 45% from the three-point line they shot. They took, more importantly, they took 40 three-point attempts. That averages out to 10 a quarter. Pretty easy. So if each starter takes 2 in a quarter, you got it. And if you're not on the court, whoever's out there in place of you, take that 3. Let that 3 fly. If it's a quality one, get in the groove. Knicks got to the free throw line 20 times, connected on 18, 90%. They shot from the free throw line as a team. Beautiful. Rebounds, they out-rebounded them. They were a plus 3, 42-39. Assists, the Knicks picked up 30 assists tonight. This is a team that has averaged 20 assists in a season. So that is indicative of the kind of offense that this team is growing into. Ball movement, finding the open guy. Boom, 30 assists right there. 8 steals for them, only 11 turnovers. The Heat only had 10. So that's both teams took care of the ball tonight. Not that many fast break points because these teams don't really give up. They shouldn't. Good defenses shouldn't give up that many fast break points. 7-5 points in the paint. The Knicks own that, and that was mostly Karl-Anthony Towns, 42-38. Look, the Knicks' largest lead was 12. The Heat had a 13-point lead, and that was the moment where the game turned on that timeout. They came back in, as I described to you before, and that is how you want your winners. That's when you're a winner, that's how you respond. That's how you respond. And tonight was a beautiful example of that. I foresee many, many more nights like this tonight, and it's only going to get better. Only going to get better. Trust me. Trust me on this, guys. It's only going to get better. All right. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to this channel. If you haven't yet, share the video, please. I would definitely appreciate that. And drop your comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts and feelings about this awesome win against the Miami Heat. I think the next game is against the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons they're not an easy team anymore. That should be an interesting game. Very fun to watch. Let's see what happens, man. Let's see. Maybe the Knicks can finally get to over 500. Take care of that win and start building momentum. Momentum early will be beautiful. All right. Thank you so much for watching this. I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.